As the disengagement process is underway, what the government now claims is that the process that is continuing at the Galwan Valley post the violent face-off, Indian forces continue to keep a strong vigil in the skies. Times Network's Mohit Sharma shows us how Indian Air Force is now fortifying our skies. Given the remoteness of some of the locations in Ladakh, transportation has been a major area of concern. However, the Indian Air Force is using the C-17 Globebuster to transport thousands of tons of material and deploy troops at Ladakh. Let's listen into Mohit's report.
With height ranging to several thousand feet and treacherous mountains, transportation of goods, personnel as well as heavy machinery becomes almost impossible. It is here that C-17, the Globemaster, comes in handy. With a capacity of holding several thousand tons of weight, C-17 is quite a boost for the Indian Air Force, for the Indian forces. Behind me you see the Globemaster currently landing right now at a forward post, obviously coming back after deploying not just troops but at the same time deploying goods and personnel. It happens to be one of the most important transportation aircraft in India. India happens to have the second largest squadron of C-17s, making it one of the finest ones in the Indian Air Force as well. From transportation of troops to goods to heavy machinery to artillery, everything that is deployed at the LAC, at the borders, comes true because of C-17.
Firstly, the Indian Air Force is fully prepared for the operations and ready for all the contingencies. The role of Air Force has been a very important aspect of war fighting and even more relevant in today's scenario. Air power will play a very crucial role in this area, in all aspects of war fighting. We have all the resources in terms of men and machine to meet all the challenges.
We have been operating in the Siachen Glacier from the last 30 years, and we have been giving supply to the Indian Army in the glacier region. And now when it requires for us to operate in the eastern Ladakh region, we have been giving full support to the Indian Army, to the far forward areas, and to our Air Force personnel who are there deployed along with the Indian Army.
See, air power is a game changer in any conflict by virtue of the space of response, the speed of response by which air power can respond. So we are fully capable in all roles which air power can undertake, be it air transport operations, be it helicopter operations, and be it fighter operations. So we are fully committed, ready and prepared to undertake anything which comes our way.
In fact, Times Network's Mohit Sharma has been in Leh, Ladakh, taking stock of the men and the machine deployed there. He also brings us this report on the Ladakh Scouts, the first responders on ground, how they train and how they gear up to defend our borders as India gears up to tackle China along the borders. New recruits of the Ladakh Scouts are now being prepared to combat at high altitude. Let's bring you a glimpse of how they train and what is it like to be on ground as first responders.
We are at a forward location right now, and what we can show you is the training of the Ladakh Scouts. Ladakh Scouts, or as they are nicknamed as Snow Warriors or Snow Tigers, is because of the fact that they have capabilities of fighting in high altitudes. The Ladakh Scouts were formed in 1963 with an essential need for combat in high altitude areas. These men have capabilities to not just combat any enemy, given the fact that these are hilly areas, but at the same time, snow, high altitude and less oxygen are some of the areas where these men can continuously fight. These men were officially turned into a regiment, into an infantry regiment after 1999 war, wherein they played a very crucial role. These men were the ones who essentially traveled up the mountains and secured location of the enemy. It was only after that that the Indian Army further went ahead and ensured that they managed to capture all the land which was infiltrated upon. More importantly, these men are from the very land where we are standing. That means that these men are the men of the soil. They are from areas of Leh, Kargil, Dras, and essentially that is what sets them completely apart from the rest of them. They do not need the time to acclimatize, and they are war ready at all times. These men ensure a close vigilance, a close surveillance in areas where no other men can travel. These men are an essential component of the Indian forces and have already shown their might in several wars, including the ones in 1965, 1971 and 1999. More importantly, given the current situation in which the Chinese have incursed, or rather have been confronting with the Indian soldiers, these men have proved their might once again. With the capabilities of traveling up a mountain in very short span of time, these men form the first line of defense when it comes to Indian forces combating on high altitudes.
Mohit Sharma there bringing us exclusive footage and reports from Ladakh.